Welcome to MidLIFE Matters, where we celebrate women's wisdom and wit. I'm Georgian Lussier, your host, and I'm delighted to introduce today's guest, Randi Frank. Randi is an independent human resources consultant, serving many municipalities as well as for-profit organizations. Welcome, Randi.
Thank you.
Delighted to have you here.
Yes.
Let's talk about some of your services that you provide and the general, experiences being a human resources professional. So some of the areas include compensation, which job descriptions, recruiting,
Right.
personnel policies, training around labor laws, etc. What areas do you find managers typically need help with?
I think the recruiting is the service that I do the most of because they just don't have the time to do it right, to make sure that the job description is correct to start with and to figure out the needs of the community. Just because it's the same title as another community or agency doesn't mean it's that they need a cookie cutter person. They need to find out what are the hot issues, what are the special needs of the organization, qualifications are, and how to find someone that's in the field.
Now, before launching into consulting, you worked for some towns.
Right.
And if you could describe some of the jobs you held and why you chose to go into the independent path, because many of our viewers may at different times consider whatever their field is.
Right. I never thought I would be here. I went to school for local government and always saw myself in City Hall and never saw myself doing anything else. I started out with Virginia government, a county government, which we don't have here in Connecticut, but it's very much like city government. It's all the services. And I was a management budget analyst and worked with all the different departments, learned about all the agencies, all their exciting and different kinds of things. Did that in 2 counties, and then I came to Connecticut, and I was the assistant town manager in Rocky Hill, and I did HR, and I did purchasing, and I did grants, and I did budget. I did risk management, did all of that stuff, worked with the town manager. And then I went to Cheshire as I was laid off in Rocky Hill during one of the downturns and went to Cheshire as their assistant and did pretty much the same thing. And then Cheshire laid me off. They eliminated the position, but they needed me to come back because there was a whole transition going on and there was no one in the manager's office to know what was going on. So they said, well, will you come back as a consultant? And so what I said was, sure, but you have to buy me an insurance certificate, insurance policy, because everybody sues towns and everybody sues about HR. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm not an employee anymore, therefore I'm not covered under the town's insurance. And so they did. They thought they could buy a 3-month policy, but you can't. It's only a year policy. So I had a year to get my business started. And I continued to go to all my meetings and let everyone know that I was consulting, and got my first project in North Branford where they needed someone to fill in. I knew the manager, and I ended up being there for 6 months, 2 to 3 days a week, doing risk management and purchasing and anything else the manager could think of, and then it just grew from there.